Hi everyone. We are happy you can join us for a special edition of the Great Debaters, part of the activities organized by the Generation Leaders Club at preparatory classes CPGE Ouarzazate. Today we are organizing a debate between the students of the institution of Prince Moulay Hassan in Ouarzazate. To my right is the affirmative team, and to my left is the negative team. We'll start with some quick introductions. Can you please tell us your name?
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Nabil Quz. I'm a first-year student of the preparatory classes, Moulay Hassan Center.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hajar Al-Hassani. I'm a first-year student in the preparatory classes, and I'm from Ouarzazate.
Well, my name is Lubna Amiri. I'm from Aikazin. It's a small village beside Zagora, and I'm a second-year preparatory classes student, ECS.
Now we can start with you.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for welcoming us because it's quite an honor just being here in a radio and you talking in front of a huge audience. So I really appreciate this chance. And I'm Ali Slimani, by the way. I live in Rashidia. I lived in Rashidia, so now I'm a student. I'm a first year in class 8 Moulay Hassan, and I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you, Ali.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mahmoud Khal. I'm 19 years old. I'm from France, Moulay Hassan. Physics, second year.
So hello everybody, my name is Jasmine Moujan and I'm 18 years old. I'm from Tinghar and I'm a student in preparatory classes, first year.
Right. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm sure you're all excited to be here. So without any further ado, we'll start the debate. Like I said before, this is a debate between the students of CPGE Ouarzazate. The topic of today's debate is: in an evolving world, change is an unavoidable necessity, something inevitable that we cannot evade. Again, to my right is the affirmative team in support of the position. We're gonna support the idea of change and keeping up with the evolving world. To my left is the negative team that goes against the notion of change. The first thing we will start with today is the introduction. So we'll start with the affirmative team with their introduction. You'll have 3 minutes and it starts now.
Hello, everybody. Hello, dear audience. So, thank you all for being here today to discuss the topic of embracing change and evolution. I would like to start by a personal story that highlights the importance of change. So, a few years ago, my grandmother was diagnosed with a chronic illness that greatly affected my family. But watching her navigating the challenges courageously actually inspired me, and it showed me how it is important to be resilient and adaptable in the face of adversity and change. So, navigating in a world that changes very quickly, it is one undeniable truth that emerges, which is change. It is an inescapable force that shapes the narratives of our existence, urging us to adapt and to innovate. Societies evolve, and so do our narratives. The heroes of old wielded swords. Today, they wield algorithms and empathy. The quests of yore led to inner realms of self-discovery. Change invites us to recreate and to rewrite our stories, to become the architects of our own destiny. In an ever-changing world, change is woven into the very fabric of existence. From the cosmic ballet of stars to the intricate metamorphosis of a caterpillar, transformation is the heartbeat of life. We witness it in the seasons, the earth shedding the coats of snow to embrace the tender buds of spring. We feel it in the pulse of innovation, its relentless march of progress that promotes us towards unshattered horizons. Change whispers in the rustle of leaves, urging them to let go and dance with the wind. It echoes in the footsteps of explorers, daring them to chart new maps across the uncharted seas. It reverberates in the laughter of children who instinctively grasp that growth lies in curiosity and adaptation. So, my fellow travelers, let us not fear the winds of change. Instead, let us unfurl our sails and navigate the currents. For in the ebb and flow of transformation, we discover our resilience, our adaptability, and our shared humanity. So, I invite you all to join us as we delve into today's debate. And I urge you to reflect on your own experiences in change and evolution, whether it is in personal lives, communities, or on a global scale. Change is inevitable. It is how we respond to change that shapes our future and our destiny. So, embrace change, for it is the heartbeat of our existence. And thank you.
Thank you very much for that poetic introduction. Negative team, you have 3 minutes for your introduction. It starts now.
5 years ago, an MIT student created a device that allows all of us to have the entire internet in our head. But today, he is nowhere to be found. He's nowhere to be found, and after a year, before that, Elon Musk's Neuralink was even founded. Arnav Kapoor, is the student that I'm talking about, was building a non-invasive wearable device that essentially acts like a Google for your head. In an interview he did within 60 minutes, for example, he was asked what's the largest city in Bulgaria and what's its population. He then proceeds to silently ask the computer and then hear the answer through vibrations transmitted through his skull and into his inner ear. And then here's the answer through vibrations. This device went on to be a sensation. He was invited to TikTok, dozens of interviews, and even won an award in MIT. But the strange part is that despite the happening 5 years ago and arguably the fastest 5 years of growth of AI tech, this device isn't found yet, and this founder that's called Arnav is nowhere to be found. This alter ego device of Arnav are nowhere to be found, and it has not been active on Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn. And the most recent interview you can find of him was about a month ago. But it doesn't include any information about where he is or his device now. However, in the meantime, Neuralink has been FDA approved, successfully implanted into the first human patient, and they are now able to control computer mouse with their thoughts. My question is, why this device hasn't progressed? No idea. So, would you like to have a removable device that you can be seen, or an inversible but implanted into your brain? Of course, a removable device that can be seen. You can't assure what this Neuralink is capable to do, but what we are sure of is that our improvements and changes are guided by higher powers, whether it's governments, institutions, or whatever. So should we really embrace those changes that are inflicted on us by some higher powers that want us to change that way, or should we remain the same while just knowing about these changes and reflecting to them with our own way? That's my question.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. I can tell from your introductions that this is going to be a very, very exciting debate. I can't wait to hear the rest of your arguments. Again, thank you, Hajar. Thank you, Mohammed. For now, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes. The next part of today's debate is the arguments. We're gonna hear arguments and positions of each team in details, and we will start with the affirmative team. Nabil and Lubna, please. Your arguments. The floor is yours for 8 minutes. Go ahead.
Now, before all we start, we cannot deny that change has always been beneficial for humanity, and in many aspects. Let's dive into one of those aspects, one of the most important aspects that were impacted by the embracement of change in evolution. Economy. No one can deny the merits of benefits that we have witnessed during the globalization across many fronts, including job market opportunities, global trading, and economic growth. As we all know, industries adapt to technological evolvement. They boost innovation in productivity, driving the economic expansion. Such expansion creates consequently new job opportunities, stimulates investments, leading to prosperity for individuals and communities, societies, whatever. Moreover, all this eventually encourages entrepreneurships and culture of innovation for, of course, those who accept change and evolution. Let's not also forget about the global trading that plays a pivotal role in fueling economic growth. As with the change, the exchange of goods and service, expertises, capital knows now no borders. So consumers like us have too many choices in products that were only available for certain regions in the world, in the other side of the world. But now we have it because we live in small markets, a global market in the palm of our hands. I want to take the example of your t-shirt or your hoodie. I assume that it has some Japanese writing in it, and I assume that Chinese. Well, thank you. I assume you love that culture.
So, yeah.
I assume that you love that culture, and you couldn't have the access to that culture. I just assumed you couldn't have the access to that culture without embracing change and being open to other cultures. That was my arguments. Let's move on now to Lubna's other arguments. Thank you.
Well, I just want to make it as simple as this and say that embracing change is the key to survival. While you may romanticize the past and resist change, let us not forget that our existence is a testament to our ancestors' adaptability and willingness to embrace change. If our ancestors did not adapt to change, we wouldn't be here debating today. Their ability to adapt ensured our survival and paved the way for our progress. Also, I would like to say that embrace change equals embrace growth. In the arena of personal development, embrace change or be left behind. The winds of change, those who resist to the winds of change risk stagnation and irrelevance in a world that demands adaptability and innovation. There are many reasons why embrace change is very important and equals embrace growth. First of all, change breeds innovation. Embracing change opens doors to new ideas, perspectives, and possibilities, and it's just when we decide to change, we think out of the box and we go out of our comfort zone. They say that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I say that the journey of our success and our personal growth and our personal development starts with thinking out of the box, going out of the comfort zone, and that is going to be just by embracing change. Third, embracing change builds resilience. It helps us to cultivate a mindset of resilience that is invaluable in an overcoming obstacle. Change means challenges, means courage. It's only when you decide to make a change, when you face obstacles, and when you say yes to challenges. Again, embracing change can propel career growth. Those who embrace change are more likely to seize new opportunities and adapt to evolving job rules and stay ahead to their career. Embracing change can lead to greater well-being. It helps us to have new experiences and challenges and reduce stress and boost self-confidence and enhance overall mental health. So, adapting to change is not just a choice, it's a fundamental part of our nature and essential for our survival. So, here is my question. If nature supports adaptation and your self-development depends on it, why should we not embrace change in our lives and society?
Okay, now let's go back to humans, of course. Now moving on to another crucial aspects in our life, which is healthcare, a thing that no ludus can ignore because it's in their life. This sector has undergone significant improvement. The medical technology advancement, the exchange of medical knowledge among the healthcare professionals, this and researchers among the healthcare professionals that accelerated the medical discoveries and led to effective treatment to some diseases that were believed that were incurable, deadly, and inevitable. All these advantages have led to significant change in our world, at least in the last century, I guess, such as increasing the life expectancy in the world. In this regard, I found an interesting statistic by the WHO, aka World Health Organization, that shows that the global life expectancy has increased by 5.5 years between 2000 and 2016, reaching the average of 72 years. That's interesting. Moreover, the UNICEF reports that the global under 5 mortality rate has declined by 49% since the year 2000.
Affirmative team, just to remind you, make one last point because your time is up. So just one last point, please.
Well, I'm gonna finish with this. So this is so obviously and evident and common sense to embrace these changes and leave the ineffective, outdated ways in medical treatment.
Thank you very much, Lubna and Nabil. That was very enlightening. Now, the negative team, you have 8 minutes for your arguments. Ali,
Okay.
Yasmin, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, I see where you're going, but I think we should not be. I think that we should not be greedy, because while time passes through, we're becoming more and more greedy. We're becoming more and more greedy, because look, first it started with development. We craved development. All of us were really happy with it, and we were willing to develop. But this willingness, this love for development, this love for improvements, do you know what? At first, it started like that. I know, but then it started to. Has become pure greed. It's quite insanity. And the problem with this greed is that it's risking our lives, because sometimes changes not all changes can go so well. At first, we can make a change, a change that would save humanity in so many ways. But then sometime, and I'm pretty sure that one day we're gonna invent something that will destroy humanity. And we're not only risking our lives, we're also risking the peace of lives of our loved ones' lives. So we're not only harming ourselves, we're harming others, and also forcing others to change as well. Anyway, let me just give you an example. Let me give you a scenario. Imagine you're sitting with your friend. You're saying you have no worries in your mind. You contemplating the clouds, and first you see a cloud that looks like a dog. You point it out to your friend, then you laugh. And he says, no, that reminds me of my friend. So you keep laughing more. But then your friend tells you, well, look, that cloud looks like a mushroom. And then, of course, those words would be your last. In case you didn't get the joke, which is quite obvious for some people. Anyway, in case you didn't get the joke, a mushroom is a bomb. A nuclear bomb is usually in the shape of a mushroom
cloud.
So of mushroom cloud. When the explosion, when the impact comes, you see a mushroom cloud. So of course those will be your last words. And this is exactly how it disturbs your peace, and it can destroy humanity in any moment. Anyway, let's move to the next point. Development represents a malediction. And it's following us, and it has been following us for years and years. From the birth of humanity, this malediction has been following us, and it's growing stronger and stronger. Us being addicted to it is it's quite a problem. At first, it didn't make a problem because it really helps us get to many places. But now it just it has become developing for the sake of fun. Anyway, the problem with this is that it breaks through the limits of morality, because normality has become abnormality has become normality. Strange things have become normal for many people, especially taboos. Things that we thought of as taboos have become something normal. Like let's take LGBTQ for example. Imagine at first you can imagine if you think of a man marrying another man, it's quite absurd. But look, at first that it started with a man marrying another man, and then do you know what it moved on to? It has moved on to someone marrying a cup of tea. In case you're British, of course, you know British, British people with their cups of tea. They prefer cups of tea than brushing their teeth. Anyway, yeah, imagine a British guy coming to you and telling you, "This is quite jolly. It's quite marvelous. How can this cup of tea be so jolly?" Excuse me, but really, I love their British accents, especially when the elegant ones. Yeah, they're kind of good. Anyway. Okay, I yield my time to...
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Ali. Yasmin, go ahead.
So, hello everybody. So, we're talking about change. Well, let's go back to 1848 when Palestine was occupied and people were killed. As you said, a lot of change did happen. And guess what? People are still being killed, but in a severe way. And all through human history until today, we have been changing things according to our misguided and egocentric perception, under the pretext of living in a world where changing becomes a necessity, while it's absolutely not the case. You want to know why? Well, let me tell you that not everyone wants to change, and imposing a change as a necessity could and will disturb the flow of our lives. I mean, look at what these changes made us do. Parents playing influencers on social media, kids who had their whole childhood made into content. Where are we seriously going? And moreover, changing just for the sake of change may not always lead to sustainable progress. It's essential to consider the long-term and consequences and impacts. And if we really want to embrace a certain change or a switch, we should make sure that we are not just imitating others by trying to fit into social cases. Plus, if we just continue to follow any change that comes up, new technologies, new trends, and new perceptions, we will completely lose our identities. And sometimes, constant change will result in us forgetting the value of preserving our tradition and cultural heritage, and which provide us a sense of identity and belonging, provided for individuals, obviously, since it allows them to understand their real place in the world. Well, now let's talk about the insecurities. Well, with all the rapid change we're exposing to, we can easily feel insecure about how do we look, our personality, and our way of thinking. Let me give you an example, okay? Well, on social media, we tend to see a lot of pretty faces and perfect bodies, while we have textured skin and normal shapes. And that creates a lot of insecurities, especially amongst teens like us, leading us to have severe mental issues. So that's it.
All right, thank you very much. Affirmative team, you have 1 minute and 15 seconds to make one last point.
Okay, thanks. To not be pursuing, I would like to take the opportunity of being in this radio station to take it as an example. As we all know, radio is really used, especially when it comes to our Z generation. But now, as you see, cameras are in front of us to upload this shot in YouTube, maybe. But the main idea of people holding up mics and making a point of view and having listeners is remaining the same when it comes to the main idea. It never changed, at all. There are things that never change and will never change. Yes, we have cars, but we still ride horses. Yes, we have factories, but we still have our handmade stuffs. Yes, we can change, but in our deep downs, we are remaining the same. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. This was really, really nice. I've personally enjoyed listening to your arguments, the amazing points that you've made, and I'm sure the listeners will also be enlightened today. They will enjoy what you have prepared and what you have said. So again, Nabil, Hajar, Lubna, and the affirmative team, Yasmin, Mohammed, and Ali. I want to thank you so much for giving us an amazing example or an exhibition of in performance in debate art. So I want to thank you again. And for our listeners, we'll take a break and we'll be back in a few minutes. Please stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we heard the arguments from both teams, from the affirmative team and from the negative team, and that was super exciting. This debate is already on fire, and we just made it to the most exciting part of the debate, and we made it to the rebuttal. In the rebuttal stage, both teams are going to have a chance to respond to each other's arguments. So the main focus of this, as you know, is just to respond to each other's arguments. But feel free to just add any points, elaborate on some of the points that you've mentioned. But the main focus should be on responding to what what you said, what the other side said in the first part, in the introduction, and especially in the arguments. You guys ready? Yeah. All right, great. We'll start with the negative team. Okay. We'll have 8 minutes. But before we do that, we've changed the teams. Completely. We have changed the teams, and we'll have to introduce yourselves. Lubna is still with us. We're happy to see you again. Please.
Hello guys, my name is Marwan. I'm from Iraq, Libya. I'm a first year economics student of preparatory classes, Ouarzazate. Besides study, I do music production. I'm a producer.
Marwan is promoting himself.
Yeah. And that's all. I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys.
We are happy to have you, man.
Hello, my name is Taha. I'm a second year student at the Ouarzazate preparatory classes. Native Ouarzazatian, as we say.
Nice.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ziad Mendil, 19 years old. I'm from Gulmima, and I'm also first year. I'm a first student in. I'm a first year student in the preparatory classes, and I feel privileged to be here with you guys.
So, hello guys, my name is Ikram Dahami. I'm from a small village that's called Tinjdat. I'm first year student of preparatory classes, Ouarzazate, and I'm glad to be here.
Sounds crazy that I'm introducing myself to people that already know me. So, hello everyone, my name is...
The listeners don't know you, so they would be happy to hear
but
and know about you.
They're not here, so...
Well, they're here, they're listening. So.
Hello everyone, my name is Nisreen Barab. I'm a student at the preparatory classes. I'm a second year student, and I'm from Tinjdat, and I'm 18 years old.
Thank you very much. Again, we have new faces, except for Lubna. And without any further ado, we're gonna start the rebuttal stage. We'll start with the negative team this time. And Nisreen, Ziad, Ikram, you have 8 minutes to respond to some of the arguments your friends mentioned in the first stage.
So without any further ado, I think I will address the evolution arguments. It's a very interesting topic to talk about. So the argument that's been said is that change is inevitable. And the arguments to support that is that we as humans have evolved and developed, so did animals and the other creatures. Therefore, change must always occur, as it was one of the first operations to ever happen. Well, I would say that this is not true, and the reason is simple. So as we thrive in this particular subject of evolution, we have to be a little bit accurate. There is no debate within the scientific community over whether evolution occurred. And there is no evidence that evolution hasn't occurred. But the point is, it's a scientific evidence. We have other alternatives to scientific explanations that we can understand a lot of complicated topics. So God is the ultimate uncaused cause. So as everything that has came to existence has came as a result of a cause. So everything that came into existence has to be caused, meaning there has to be a result of some cause. We have to put an end to this unlimited chain of causes and results. Therefore, there has to be an uncaused cause, meaning someone who caused everything, but he hasn't been caused, which is God, Allah. Now, to be very clear, we don't have anything similar to evolution theory in any script, meaning that claims that from the creator. Now, as we're all Muslims here, and we believe Islam is the truth, we don't have any of this in Islam. We don't have this concept of evolution in Islam. So any example or any evolution theory that may be brought up is actually not valid. Therefore, the whole argument remains invalid.
Nisreen, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So I'm gonna address one argument that one of the team members said. He said change did benefit the job market. Are you being for real? Because last time I have checked, people are being replaced by machines, left with no job, no income, nothing. So please, when you are not sure of the benefits of something, do not bring it up.
There is one other thing I want to address. So I have observed in my opponent's arguments and outlook about change, I would say that it is a very perfected image that doesn't always reveal the truth. I mean, we all love the motivational stuff. It's a temporary dopamine increaser. It feels good, not gonna lie. But convincing ourselves that change is always great 100%. And as long as we're changing, we will always be on top is not really accurate. And the reason is the following. If we keep telling ourselves this, it might potentially borderline delusion. Because here's the thing. Life isn't either white or black. It's often in between. So it's a mix of both. The Chinese, thousands of years ago, they drew yin and yang. And that was for a particular reason. They are linked. They go together. It is not a difficult concept. So as you guys might seem to see change as a game changer or as a life hacker, it's not actually the case. Throughout history, we have seen how change can be a ticking bomb for us as a society. And we have a lot of examples to address.
Change is an unavoidable luxury. So, is change really an inevitable necessity? I used to believe it was. Used to say if everyone and everything around you is changing, then it is a necessity for you too. Something you can never escape, even if you tried. So I will tell you a story. There's this one time in English class where our teacher started talking about the Amish people.
Me? Oh, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, that was you. That was you.
I remember that, yeah.
You started talking about the Amish people.
The Amish people, yes.
The Amish people. Yeah. I had no idea who these people were back then. But now, after seeing how they live, I was and I am still impressed. Because in a world full of technology, in a world of addiction, in a world you call an advanced world, they rejected television, online access, public utility, and even electricity. In an evolving world, they are a living proof that change is not an inevitable necessity. Fun fact is, they are a lot happier, healthier than we could ever be. And actually, it's not just them. There is a lot of other populations adapting and adopting this lifestyle. It makes you wonder, what are we doing? And I'm sorry I said I wasn't gonna join, but I think I changed my mind.
There's one other thing I want to speak about. I just want to say that the relentless pace of change has eroded many of the core values that we once had, that once unified our society. This change that came is a change that's encouraging a whole new crazy version of feminism that has nothing to do with giving equal opportunities. The change that came is a change that's destroying the concept of marriage, a very sacred notion. For example, there's a huge proportion of men today that don't want to get married. A huge proportion. Because let's be honest, look at the risk reward of getting into a relationship, potentially for getting married. In the world we're living in right now, especially in Europe and the West, in case of divorce, men get absolutely destroyed, wrecked, and severely oppressed. I mean, imagine being in this scenario. You're losing half your fortune because you got divorced from a woman that once you thought that she would be your partner forever. Same goes for women.
Negative team, I need to remind you that you have 1 minute left.
Okay. I'm gonna say one last thing. So same goes for women. So it's not just for men. A lot of women today don't see any good out of marriage, considering the degeneracy, the loyalty that have gone to the roof, which led them to prioritize personal and professional goals. And marriage doesn't seem to add up in that list. So that's as far as I need to take it. I will give it.
I think you mean Nisreen. Yeah, Nisreen, you have 30 seconds left, so make it brief and to the point.
Okay. I will ask you a pretty simple question. Are you really ready to embrace all the changes that are happening in the world? I am sure you are not. Because sometimes change is optimizing for the wrong things. I'm gonna give you a simple example. I am sure everyone here is well aware of the AI tools, especially the famous ChatGPT. No doubt that you have probably asked it either for help or help in a life quest or help in your homework or even just for general knowledge. That's all great. Now your question is gonna be, okay, Nisreen, what's wrong with that? Well, what you don't know is the part where you come up with some creative idea to solve your own daily quests is a result of actually thinking and looking for solutions. The result of your homework, right or wrong, is a personal effort you did while passing hours on it.
Nisreen, I'm going to have to stop you there. I mean, you can always elaborate on that point later. I actually gave you more time. So now the floor goes to the affirmative team, or would you rebuttal? Again, you have 8 minutes, and I promise I'll also be generous at the end.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so basically, you all mentioned very valid points. I would like to appreciate the effort you put in. You mentioned very valid points, but I would like to start with a contradiction. Okay? Basically, your friend mentioned that adapting change, continuously changing would be basically losing your identity, right? But the thing is, the ideals that you are set on, that you are always following, are nothing but traces of past changes. You are following what has been put on up to you, but what has been forced up to you. You're not creating your own identity, okay? Do you see the contradiction here? Basically, instead of changing, creating your own personality, you are basing yourself off of past experiences. That is very much contradictory, okay? Secondly, your friend also mentioned, what's it called? Okay, yeah, you mentioned neurochips, right? You said that it's technology that would not help at all. You also mentioned that it has not come, even though you said that the pace at which it's coming is not very fast, basically. That we have been waiting a long time for technology to come when it hasn't come. Okay, basically what I would like to say, neurochips, what they hope to do, right, is help people with disabilities, right? A very noble cause. Help people with disabilities in order to achieve things that they couldn't have done before. Greatness takes time, right? We need to be patient. It's better to be patient and wait for things to happen than not do anything and sit there and watch, right? I'm gonna pass the word to my friend here, Marwan.
Our music. What kind of music do you make, by the way, Marwan?
I do R&B, production of music R&B beats, trap beats, in general rap beats.
Okay.
I just started in cinematic music that used in soundtracks in movies.
Oh, nice.
Also, I do some mixing.
Oh, we could see you in one of Tarantino's movies one day.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, man. All right. Thank you very much, Mara, for sharing that with us.
Thank you guys for your. I really appreciate your arguments. I would love to start with a quote that I have seen it in a book. I don't recall really the book, but the book actually it was I think by by Cynic or Marcus or Aurelius. I think it's a concept that called they are both two authors that write in the field of stoicism in philosophy. Okay, I recall the quotes. Okay, here I'm not saying the quote as it was literally. So the quote is basically: you are not your ideas. You are a self that is more valuable than the ideas that change and the ideas that change and maybe lost their values. Okay, the quote is more deep. It's actually resume the fact that ideas that lead itself to become traditions, customs, are change, and are not the thing that describe humankind value. More than that, rejecting the change is a reaction that contradicts itself, because rejecting to change, or in other words, adopting new ideas, is basically judging a new idea by an old idea. That was the result of a change adopted before. So why we would agree with one and deny the other? Here we would talk about. We know that it's not good for us. I think we would talk about. We cannot define what is good because it's always related with the future, and we cannot discuss this. I think because it's undeterminable. We cannot determine it. Also, I wanna also talk about creating or inventing something that would destroy our humankind. Okay, as an example, we would take nuclear bombs or atomic bombs. We will. You said we will invent something that would destroy humanity. In fact, the invention of atomic bomb was one of the solutions that provide political stabilities, and you can see that. But getting back to history, since I think the 19th century, you can check on a book that called the Adventure of German Moet. In I think I don't recall all the name of the book, but it was describing how actually South Africa was not. It was actually repeating how Africa was functioning. So you can see a difference between the coming of policies or the came of nuclear bomb and its effects on it. It doesn't have all just bad effects on people. So I will pass. I think the micro.
Just to let you know, you have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Okay.
Okay, so I don't have much time, and I have a lot of things to say.
Just make it brief. I'll try.
Yeah.
I promise, but just
Okay,
make
I'll
it
try.
brief.
I'll
Okay,
try.
go ahead, Louis.
Okay, sounds that you really stick to the point of view that you really resist change and you refuse adapting to change, and that's why we're trying to convince you of the opposite. Well, it seems like that you are a little bit sensitive to the theory of evolution. I want just to make a point and say that I mentioned it just to prove that adapting to change is not a choice, but it's a fundamental part of our nature. That was the part behind the theory of evolution. More than that, you mentioned that we cannot accept and change and go with all changes. So here I'm gonna say that there is a concept which is utilitarianism that says that the right course of actions is the one that produce the greatest overall happiness. So the changes chosen should be this that maximizes overall happiness and well-being. So we're not stupid that much to choose and to change ourselves to whatever change is coming to our way. We have to be wise enough to choose the change that goes with our values, that goes with our and maximize our happiness and well-being. More than that,
you mentioned the point of preserving values and traditions. I want to say that while preserving values is important, it should not prevent us from adapting to change when it's necessary for the greater good of society. So utilitarianism provides a framework for making ethical decision about which change to embrace.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lubna, and thank you very much, affirmative team and negative team. We appreciate your contribution, the ideas that you've put forward. Now, we'll try to just have an open discussion about some of the points that both of you have raised. So, yeah, negative. You had the last word. So we'll start with the negative team. Raise a point or respond to something that they have said and mentioned before.
I'm gonna respond to a few points actually that you have mentioned in your rebuttal. I got your point, Marwan. You said every idea we adopt came from a certain change. But we are only saying that not all changes are good and are to be adapted. So if we adapted one idea and the other we did not adapt it, it was because it wasn't for the greater good. That's why we realized we should not really adapt every change that comes across us. Also, our point in the identity part was not really understood by you guys. I think I think Yasmin, what she was trying to say is due to a lot of media, us being exposed to a lot of cultures, us being exposed to a lot of information, being out there, just made us lose a part of who we are, and it made us want to be a lot more like other people. So we started losing ourselves.
Thank you very much, Nisreen. How do you guys negative team? The floor is yours. So I mean the affirmative team. So my bad. The floor is yours. So you can respond to the Nisreen's point, and take the chance to also raise another point. Okay. All right.
Okay. Basically, what I'm gonna say is, you mentioned that change basically has many bad consequences that would appear, right? Okay. I would like to bring up a concept first. Okay. It is called the drunkard's walk. What it means is a drunk man walking out of a bar, going back to his place, right? He knows his destination.
I can't take the image of a drunk man walking home, like wobbling around my head. So.
That's the point. He's wobbling, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know which step he's gonna take, but he knows he will eventually get to his home, right? Yeah. Basically, evolution. That's how evolution works. We know the destination. The destination is the greater good of everyone. There are gonna be a few bad steps that we are gonna take along the way, but the important thing is the end, the final destination. Look at things in the long term, right? Okay. Also, regarding the job market, right? You mentioned that the constant evolution brings out many technologies that will replace people in their jobs. But you forgot to mention one thing: the creation of new job opportunities. With technology, with evolution, with change comes many different fields, new fields that didn't exist along the way. Basically, providing people with many new job opportunities to take on. And like, let's take for example the NASA. This is a true story. NASA basically had been hiring people during the Apollo quest. They had been hiring people in order to work as calculators, basically, in order to calculate many things regarding the journey, right? Yeah. But when the IMB created the first calculator, they were replaced, right? What NASA did is basically, by knowing they are already competent and they have worked in a field where they were able to show their competences, they rehired them. So basically, having old jobs that would be replaced would give you also competences that would help you get new jobs.
I guess you watched Hidden Figures.
No,
sadly I didn't. It's a movie about the story of these African American women who were responsible for calculations and helping NASA get. Yeah, there was part of the movie story. Yeah.
Okay, I would love to.
we are going to respond.
I think you've already raised you've responded to their point and you've raised the point. So it's only fair that we give the chance to the negative team. So you can respond to what you've said and then raise a point at the same time.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, I will address Lubna's argument. I would like to respond to her, and I think that what I would say would cover some of my brother here points. So Lubna, you said that we are resisting change. No,
There's a lot of romance in the room.
Yes.
It's nice.
Yes. Lubna, you said that we are resisting change. No, that's not true. We're not resisting change. We know that in many times change was the optimal choice, was the great option. But what are we saying here is change is not always the solution. There are many times where modern changes have destroyed our society, and there are some changes that are destroying our society. For example, degeneracy, as I said, degeneracy has gone to the roof. Okay, the noble concept of family is being murdered. It's being absolutely destroyed. So, imagine that school now have more rights, more authority, more influence on kids than their own parents that gave birth to them. The most common things that once were very clear, and that the older ones never found any need to argue about, are being now such controversial topics and complicated ones. That's all because of change. I mean, we have got to a point when you find yourself very unsure how to address people. Okay, there are now some stupid things like pronouns and such. I think that's all because of change. Now we are saying that change is not always good. Okay, some of the changes we simply don't have to take.
All right. Thank you very much, Ziad. I think the floor goes to the affirmative team. Yeah, go ahead.
I just like for what we said, you're saying that you're not against change. So this is somehow there is contradiction between what you said and what you're defending. So we're almost saying the same thing, that change can sometimes not be good. And that's why I mentioned the concept of utilitarianism, saying that the change chosen should be the changes chosen should be this that maximize overall happiness and well-being. Here comes our wisdom. Here comes our intelligence as a human being to choose the right change, to adapt, and bad changes to fight back. So that's how I reply to you. I want just like to add another point when you talked about Amish people. It's good that you talked about Amish people because most of people don't know about them. It's a group of people living in the United States of America, and it's really nice to discover their lifestyle. And you talked about their lifestyle in a very positive way, saying that like you wanted me even to join them and be a part of Amish people. So let's say that their lifestyle have very, very bad drawbacks. Do you know that an Amish person struggles with healthcare issues? Do you know that an Amish people struggles with education? So they have a lack of formal education. And also lifestyle of Amish people has very, like, they are living in a very social isolation. As you said in the beginning, you didn't even know about Amish people until the teacher told you this. So what does it mean to be known, not your existence not be known in the world? So it is, we should mention the drawbacks of their lifestyle and not idealize Amish people lifestyle.
Thank you very much, Lubna. Yeah. Okay, I think Ikram has. Yeah, you can. I think everyone here feels attacked. You got. I got it. We got to the fiery part of the debate here. I guess. So you can always respond to each other's points, but I guess Ikram wants to raise a point. Go ahead, Ikram.
It's not about raising a point. It's about defending, yes, and responding about something. You said that we are not crazy to follow any changes that comes in our lives, but actually we are. If we see our teenagers in our days, we will say that all they following is trend.
what is trend and what is coming in social media. Even they can both code today and tomorrow it will be an old-fashioned, even if it's by today. So we have already become crazy of the madness of the trending and social media and all what is new. So that is a sign that changes are coming too fast of people. And another thing that Taha said, it's just the traditions and our identity. It's something that comes after all changes. But it still makes people, what I want to say, it still makes people different and special. If you say, if you see, there are a lot of countries and a lot of cities, and every people in all the regions are special with their identity and with their traditions and culture. So even if it's if our identity comes after all changes, it still makes us special.
All right, thank you very much, Shikram. I guess Nisrin really wants to respond to the Amish point. I guess, yeah. We'll give you the floor, Marwan. I promise. Nisrin, just make it brief, okay? You can grab the mic. Okay, but all right. So we'll go for Nisrin, and then you'll have. I'll promise I'll be fair. I promise I'll be fair. No, I'll promise I'll be fair. Go ahead, guys. Yalla.
Okay. You mentioned that I did not know about the Amish people until our teacher mentioned them. That's called privacy. They chose not to be known. It was their choice. It was their choice to be isolated. It was their choice to be isolated. They chose not to be known for the outside world. That's a privilege. You know, to live in a world where technology, where all these cameras exist and you're not known. Excuse me, it's a privilege. The suffering with health. What do you mean? Everyone suffers with the health. Where I live, we only have one hospital. And I live in a very advanced world, according to you.
Thank you very much, Nisrin. Yeah, no. Again, you have the floor and the chance to raise your points. Go ahead, Ziad.
Just to make it.
Yeah, I promise I'll be fair. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, okay, just to make it clear, I will try to be as simple and to make it more simple. Lubna, we are not contradicting ourselves. So you are saying that change, a very big word, is inevitable. It can be escaped. That's your initial position. So you guys are defending the idea that change is inevitable. Okay. So what are we saying is that this is not the case. It's not inevitable. Okay. We can't escape change sometimes because it can destroy us. It can ruin our lives.
Thank you very much, Ziad. Okay, no, it has to go. It has to go to the affirmative team. It has to go to the affirmative team. And in order to keep my promise, all of you can raise a point. All right? Yeah, go. No, Ikram raised the point. It's indeed, yeah. Yeah. All right, go ahead, you guys. Yalla. Taha, you're gonna start us off. Marwan. All right, go ahead, Marwan. Yeah.
Okay, here I just want to mention the point that is missing in your point of view. Okay. I would love to recall a concept that called conflict theory. That is basically change is just a consequence and solution that appears due to the conflict that exists, and that can also justify the existence of feminism for you guys. Yeah. Also, I want to mention that your arguments were always based on defining the good and bad. Okay. I would love to say that unfortunately, defining good or bad is hard, and history shows that the most efficient way to say that define this is better, that change is better or good, is just literally to examine it. And here we are in a dilemma, but by solving it, we can say that examining the thing just by we can say that by defining the thing is bad and without examining it, it's just basing on an idea that was a result of a change that was before. And here we can say that we can see clearly that an idea. Here we can see clearly that an idea that resulted by change is not a general rule. It's not a rule that we can based on or a general criteria. And here we can also talk about the marriage that you have mentioned, guys. Okay, I think the marriage is a personal choice, personal desire that we should not discuss it. So I think I would love to say away from it because a personal choice, we cannot discuss it and link it with the social problems.
Thank you, Marwan. Yeah, Taha.
Okay, I would like to touch up on the point that Ziad made. Okay, so basically, no, not Ziad. Basically, what you mentioned was that that cultures make us who we are, right? That changing and abandoning those cultures would change who we are and let us abandon our humanity, right? Okay, what I would like to say is change isn't about forgetting the past or abandoning it. It's about changing what needs to be changed, things that do not fit in today's world. As an example of that is that all of us celebrate many things that our ancestors did, right? That doesn't mean that we live the same lifestyle that they live, right? Basically, changing. While changing, we do embrace.
Taha, can you make your point? We are running out of time a little bit, so.
Basically, to sum it up, what I would like to say is change doesn't consist of forgetting the past, but rather embracing it and changing things that do not fit in today's society.
Right.
Aesthetic.
Make it quick, Marwan. Yeah, just make it really like brief.
I would love to respond to the point that Ikram have said before. I think you have said that this change leads us to a chaos maybe or bad things in the society according to the use of social media. I think the use of social media is a problem in people, in the behavior of people and how they deal with social media. It's not the problem of change itself. So I recommend that here. I recommend in this situation that we should empower people how to use it and not passing the shame. Okay, shooting. Pointing our fingers to the change itself.
All right, thank you, Marwan. I appreciate it.
And here we can adopt a new change, I think.
All right, thanks, Marwan. Let's give. I think Lubna has been waiting patiently for her turn. But Lubna will make one last point so we can finish this part of the debate. No, well, all right, just you make it to the point. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, go ahead, Lubna. Yeah.
Make it as short as
all right.
possible.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you talked about like let's stick to Amish people because it's
you really guys like you make me I don't know.
Yeah, because the first time I heard about Amish people, it was really like I didn't know about them, and the first time I heard about them, it was really controversial for me, and it was how can a group of people choose to live like this? You mentioned the concept of privacy, so like. I want to say that there is a difference between privacy and social isolation. I choose privacy when I have the ability to be shown to the world, but choose to not. But Amish people, because of what they are living in, they don't have this ability. Have you ever seen an Amish people? Of course not, because they never went out of their place, their homes, they've been I'm saying directly, and that's social. Yeah, they couldn't travel. They couldn't travel to Morocco. That's why.
I think don't interrupt you. No, go ahead.
Oh,
she hasn't interrupted you. Go ahead.
Okay, like that social is when I talked about social isolation. I want just to say that because of this social isolation, they can't travel. Because they don't use planes, they don't use airplanes, they don't use technological. I don't have time.
No, just try to conclude your point, Lubna.
Okay, to conclude, we should highlight that the lifestyle of Amish people shows the result of not accepting and adapting to changes, and its drawbacks shows us that we have to change and we have to adapt and go with the changes.
All right, I think but please just 30 seconds tops. Go ahead.
So when will you
we'll see. Let's finish. Let's finish with Ikram's point and then we'll see. What? Ikram, just brief. 30 seconds. Go ahead. It starts now. All right, everyone. Ikram, 30 seconds. Go.
So when we are talking about changes, we should consider also the old people, like they are struggling already with following all these changes, and we are going to add more changes in our life in the future. So we should ask them and take their point of views about this, and consider their situations in all these changes that come after.
All right. Quote. Just a quote.
Oh, no, I would respond to that. And
No, just a quote. Just a quote. Just a quote. Go ahead. Yalla.
Okay, based on the concept that was mentioned by my friend Taha, the drunk man,
Yeah, the
the
drunk
back
man
wall is walking. I can say that slow motion is better than no motion.
All right.
Yes.
I guess. All right. I guess that.
You have to give
You have
us
a quote?
the quote too.
You have an
Yes.
inspirational quote?
Yes.
I don't think we have time for inspiration. I don't.
Please.
Go ahead, yalla. All right, I guess we'll end this with
Just don't count what I'm saying now until I get to the quote.
No, just get to the quote.
No, just
the
wait.
quote.
Just wait.
Yeah.
I have to respond to the
just the quote.
I know a lot of drunk people who ended up in the bushes, not in their home.
Just get
But
to that.
eventually in the morning they end up at their place.
Okay.
Eventually.
No.
Marwan, we really have to stop. I really have to stop you, man.
If she can make a point,
Okay, let's just quote.
should
A
make a
quote.
point.
Is it a point or a quote?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a quote. Yalla.
The grass on the other fence, on the fence's other side, is not always greener.
Okay. All right. I guess that sums up the inspirational quotes part and rebuttal. Thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed this part. And I appreciate your contribution to this topic and all the insights and how reasonable you were, how critical you were of each other's ideas and the ideas that you've researched.
and consistencies also in the other thing.
I
sorry.
guess so. So I just want to thank you all, and we'll take a short break, and we'll be back for the conclusion in a few minutes. Stay with us, please. Welcome back, everyone. We just finished the rebuttal part of our debate today, and we're finally at the finish line with the conclusions for both teams. The conclusion is a chance for both teams to just make one last blow. So make it count. And we have a new member that just joined us now, Hiba. Can you please introduce yourself? Just tell us something about yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Hiba. I am a first year preparative student. And that's it.
Where are you from, Hiba?
I'm from Rashidia.
Oh, a lot of people from Rashidia. Nice, that's good.
Popular city.
I used to work in Rashidia. It's a nice
It's a good
place,
city.
nice
Yeah, of
place,
course,
nice
of
people
course,
for
of
sure. All right, Hiba, we'll start with your introduction and representing the conclusion, representing the affirmative team. You have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Tops. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna start with a little cute story of a plantain. Well, a small seedling plant is planted in fertile soil. Its tender roots spreading out, searching for sustenance. Well, as it grows, it faces varying weather conditions, shifting winds, and unforeseen challenges. Rather than wilting under pressure, the seedling flexes and adjusts, striving to reach the sunlight. Well, the cute little plant was scared to go out and face the challenges and face the changes. Well, so she could attend the sunshine. She may accept the change and just accept the change and let's compare this to our lives. As our words keep changing rapidly and crucial for us to adapt, we've seen how technology evolves. Society is shifting, and our environment is facing serious challenges. Well, embarrassing challenge isn't just an option; it's a must. It's a must if we want to thrive. By being open to new ideas and innovations, we can create more jobs, boost our economies, and make our lives easier. Sure, change can be scary, by the way, but it's also a chance for us to grow, and to growth and do some improvements. It requires courage and willingness to try new things. By embracing change, we can create a brighter future for ourselves and for the coming generations. Thank you guys for your support.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Ikram, representing the negative team, for the conclusion. Ikram, you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds stops. No, 2 and 30 seconds stops. Okay? Yeah. I mean, just don't exceed 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's what I mean. Yeah, go ahead.
To sum up, while change is often seen as a necessary in a world that's always evolving, we must carefully consider whether all changes are truly helpful. It's important to recognize that traditions and long-standing practices play a vital role in our communities, providing a sense of identity and strength. However, change can bring unexpected challenges, such as making life more difficult for some or causing confusion, especially for those already facing hardships. Additionally, we should value the wisdom of older generations and not rush into change without careful considerations. Sometimes, change may be imposed upon us, leading to unintended consequences or resistance. In such cases, maintaining stability and minimizing disruption might be a wise choice. We should strive to listen to diverse perspectives and collaborate on decision making. Change isn't always an unavoidable necessity. There are times when preserving what's valuable and meaningful outweighs the need for change. As we navigate in our dynamic world, let's strive for balance and thoughtfulness in embracing or resisting change. Thank you for engaging us in this important discussion, and let us all continue working toward a future where progress benefits everyone.
All right. Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you very much, Ikram. Yeah? Just quick. Yeah.
Small anecdote. If we were resisting the change, we could have been still in a feudalic field, enslaved by people.
Again, maybe every part of history has its pros and cons. But anyway, thank you, negative team and Ikram, for the conclusion. I want to thank both teams and everyone who participated in the debate today. It's amazing to witness the growth that you've made and the progress that you've made in terms of language and also in terms of ideas and your critical thinking and the contribution you made to the intellectual field. You should be proud of yourselves. And I want to thank everyone who participated with us today. And I want to thank the listeners for tuning in to today's episode and today's debates. I also want to thank the regional radio of the Atafilat for hosting today's activity. And I want to for second year students, I want to wish you the best of luck with the coming exams. I know you must be stressed, and this is a good. I guess today's activity is it's a good way to relieve some of that stress and just break away from the routine of school and exams in general. Again, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank everyone who participated today. I want to thank the listeners and especially the regional radio of the Atafilat for hosting today's activity. And just to conclude it, give yourselves a round of applause, everyone. You really will deserve it. Thank you so much. That was really nice. All right. Thank you, guys. That was great. Good job. I'm finished.